it's tight, but it fits. That's what she said. What's up, guys? It's Brandon with Extreme Daily Drivers. We are always balling on a budget and wrenching in our garage. Check it out. We got the Prelude in here. I got a box of goodies. We're going to go over some of the stuff that I got. We're going to do some work to the car today. So, yeah, it's a super tight fit. Here, check it out. It's a super tight fit, and I still have more organizing to do. But yeah, it's in. First thing we're going to do today is we are going to install, boom, fuel pressure gauge. So the way this works is it mounts on top of your fuel filter, and it'll tell us exactly what kind of PSI we're running before the rail. So it's a nice little upgrade. It was not very expensive. I got it from VMS. They make good stuff, and it's at a reasonable price. I'll have links down in the description for all this stuff in case you're interested in getting it yourself. But yeah, this is kind of a universal guy. I think works with B series. It says Honda and Acura. I don't know. It should work. I mean, there can't be that much difference in this stuff. So anyway, we're going to install that. After we install that, we are going to install 4 new fuel injectors. All right, so let me show you what I got here. So my car's been running crazy rich. It's been running crazy rich ever since I put the engine in. And I am running the stock OEM injectors. They've never been serviced. The car had 177,000 miles on it when I started messing with it. So those injectors had 177,000 miles worth of wear on them. So my belief is that I have one that is leaking. I actually think it's cylinder 4. But I think I have one that's leaking based on a little blip in my idle, basically every 30 seconds. Also, too, I have a black bumper, as you might have seen when I backed the car in. That's usually a sign of running rich. And just, I think there's a little hesitation when you hit the gas, and new injectors certainly can't hurt, right? So 4 new injectors. I got these off Amazon. They're brand AUS. There's the part number. I'll have a link down in the description below in case you want to get some of these for your car, but they're basically replacements. So the last thing we're going to install today is this, an AEM adjustable fuel pressure regulator. So is there anything wrong with my current fuel pressure regulator? Honestly, probably not, but I bought this just in case before I went to the dyno, in case we got there and the tuner was like, dude, your fuel pressure regulator's jacked up. I at least had this one as a spare. So I've had it. I want to install it. It'll look cool in the engine bay, whatever, and it'll give us some adjustability if needed down the road when we get the car tuned again in a couple weeks. So so we're going to install this guy. This again is for B series engines. Should just bolt right up. Actually, if you look at this part number on AEM's website, it does say it works with Preludes 88 to 91. So guys, before I get this video started today, I want to give a quick reminder to go to our website, extremedailyDrivers.com. I had a lot of help from Christian, the guy who runs Honda Vlogs. If you haven't been to his website, go to his website. It's HondaVlogs.com. Obviously, follow him on YouTube. He does the recap every single Monday. So Christian was a big help for me trying to figure out what I wanted my site to look like. I really do like his website. So he and I chatted. He gave me some pointers. He gave me some tips. And it's been really, really helpful. And also a big shout out to my wife, who actually did figure out what theme to use, and she did design the site. I tried it for about a week. It was a disaster. I couldn't find the right theme. I couldn't get it set up properly. But she's been great. She's gone ahead and basically organized it. It's obviously still a work in progress, but I am doing daily blog entries, kind of bringing you up to speed in all the cars I've had in the past and kind of bringing you to where I am today. So check that website out if you haven't already, extremedailyDrivers.com. All right, so the first thing we want to do is go ahead and relieve some pressure out of here. Check this out. No rust. Look how clean it is. Anyway, let's relieve the gas pressure. That's always so satisfying. Alright, so we got the fuel pressure released. I also disconnected the battery. So now we're going to go ahead and remove this bolt here. So I really don't want all the gas to drip out of that. You can see that there's a little washer there. That guy's going to stay there. And basically what we're going to do is we are going to pull out this bolt. Okay, and you see it still has the copper washer on there. And we're going to install the new bolt with the kit. So new washer, boom, right down you go. Okay, so we got the new bolt on here, and we have two options. We can either take the gauge and install it straight up and down, okay, or we can use this little 90 here and have the gauge, you know, pointing out something like that, which I think looks better. So we're gonna go that route. What do you guys think? I think that looks pretty killer. Everything's tight. It's kind of nerve-wracking tightening some of this stuff because it's like brass or something, and you can easily go bananas and over-tighten it and break it. So hopefully I haven't done that with any of these. They still seem good. It's also frustrating because you have to have it tight, otherwise it's going to spew gas all over the place, which of course we can't have. So I'm going to reconnect the battery. I'm going to put that gas cap back on. We're going to turn this thing over and see if it sprays fuel everywhere. Alright, I'm just priming it right now. You can see where it's leaking from. So, we got to address that. Alright, so after many attempts and really cranking on this, my storage unit mate showed up, and his name's Eric, and he hooked me up with some Teflon tape. He says this is the answer to my problem, not just cranking it tighter. So we're going to go ahead and install this and throw this back on and hope it doesn't leak. So it was the Teflon tape. Thanks to Eric. We're going to return this tape. We're going to tackle these injectors. This was the answer.
Yeah, no leaks.
No leaks.
Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Putting you in the new video, man.
Yeah, I got my GoPro. It's all charged. I'm ready to go.
Lots of excuses coming out of this garage.
Oh my goodness.
Tell everybody about what you've done.
Alright, so this is a 95 base S14. So no sunroof, no ABS. It was this granny driven, perfectly clean shell when I got it. And
I look at it.
Oh, yeah. No, but I'm talking working AC, automatic transmission that made no noises. It was on the stock 15s, 4-lug, and since I've completely redone all the suspension, put an RB20 out of a GTST Skyline, or at least that's what the ECU tells me it's out of.
Right.
You know, steel braided brake lines, some basic things. Nothing crazy, no fuel cell, no rear mount radiator, but
What kind of coilovers are these?
work in progress. They are ISRs, and I bought them brand new, and I would not recommend them.
How come?
They ride really stiff, like more stiff than.
Are they? Can you adjust the dampening?
Yes, you can. They're 32-way adjustable. But
Okay.
even playing with settings and riding with those settings for multiple days at a time, trying to adjust.
Dial them in.
I spent a good amount of time, and they look a lot nicer than they ride.
Did you ever break preload on these? Lower, like change the.
I tried not to, and then.
Okay.
I think I did at first. I really didn't know what I was doing.
Right. Yeah, I did the same thing.
I just gave it a quarter turn or whatever you're supposed to do just to snug the spring up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just still rode.
Still rode like crap, huh?
Yeah. So, kind of disappointing. They were expensive, but they work.
Dude, this thing's sick.
Thank you.
So we just got it started the other day for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And,
misfiring and with spaghetti wiring all over the place.
Look at this timing mark right here.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit off.
That's all right. That's fine.
Dude, it runs.
Only
It
a few
runs.
teeth.
Yeah.
It runs.
So yeah, this is Eric's garage. He did this all by himself in here, and now he's doing the wiring harness. Let's take a look at that.
That's
Look at this. Good Lord.
Thing taken apart.
It's a mess, but starting to understand, what wires are necessary and what
Yep.
aren't, because I don't plan to run radio speakers or anything like that.
Right. This is drift car.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's going to be that's the facade, that's the front. Really, I just want it to be simple because I'm not the best at this.
Right.
If something breaks, I want it to be easy to fix. So.
Exactly. Oh, and I have the exact same goal for my car, so we're on the same page there. So anyway, tell them about your YouTube channel.
All right, it's called Project E on YouTube. I have like 50 videos. I'm getting there.
You are, but what about Instagram? What's your IG?
It's the same thing. Project E. You have the link.
I'll put it all down below here in the video.
Thank you.
You have Instagram page?
Yeah, it's at max.haywood00.
Dude, awesome. And you don't have a YouTube channel yet.
No, not yet.
That's because you got a Corolla, though.
Yeah, I got the Corolla. I mean, hopefully it's coming soon. Hopefully soon. We'll see.
So anyway, yeah, this is Eric's garage. A lot of action goes on in here. There's a missing partner, or not really a partner, but Jordan and his 92 Miata.
I think so.
Yeah, it's 92. It's a 92 NA, and he also has a 80, or maybe it's a 90 Honda Prelude.
I think it's 90.
Yeah. So anyway, he might even come by later today. But anyway, man, this is the storage unit. We got tons of action going on here, and there's another guy down the road that he's got a BMW and a Honda Accord. So maybe he'll show up later today too. You never know. So anyway, how cool is that? Guy building a 240, a couple doors down. This storage unit place is awesome. Can't say enough good things about it. If you got one of these in your neighborhood where you're allowed to wrench on your car, it's totally worth the investment. He's got a double bay, which is sick. And I've talked to him, as well as the guy who I told you about. His name's Tyler. He's got the BMW and the Accord. I've talked to both of them about getting a warehouse, and we are talking about it. So who knows? Maybe in a couple months, this storage unit thing will be in the past, and we'll actually have a 1,200 square foot place for us to wrench on our cars. But anyway, for now, let's go ahead and start disassembling our engine bay here so we can get these injectors out. I have to remove this strut bar in order for me to have access to the fuel rail and get to those bolts. So that's what I'm going to start doing right now, and then we'll just pull those injectors out. Alright guys, so if you're like me, you forget how to disconnect an injector, and you just pull the whole rail out with the injectors still plugged in. This is actually just easier for me. I can't get my hands down there in the little spot, so I've basically gotten everything out of my way. So check it out. Now we just disconnect these injectors, and when we reinstall them, we can put the injectors in, then the fuel rail, and then we'll be fine. But yeah, this is just way easier for me. Alright, so here is the old injector. Here's the new one. You can see they're identical. And the new one comes with these rubber little grommets that fit in to the back of the cylinder head. If we come over here, we kind of get this guy out of our way. Get this gassy rag out of here. You can see here, those are the old ones, and you see here one popped out with the old injector. Same over here too. So we're going to replace those with the new seals and then reinstall everything. There's been something I've been wanting to do to the injector wiring for a long time, and I didn't want to risk doing it and something happening. But today I felt like taking the risk. So what I did was I removed this little plastic cover that kind of organizes all the wires and allows the wiring, the injector wiring, to sit on top of the fuel rail. I remember reading in Sport Compact Car or Super Street or one of those magazines like a long time ago, they said, you know, one of the easiest ways to clean up your engine bay, hide wires, is to remove this and flip the injectors upside down and then do the wiring from underneath so that you don't have to stare at this thing. And this thing is also really cumbersome to deal with. So let me show you what I did. Alright, so the wiring, injector wiring here, that was in that plastic case, is now going to be below the fuel rail. And everything's kind of just, nothing's like locked into place right now, but I wanted to make sure the fuel rail would fit with the injectors mounted below it. And it looks like we'll be good. Where did my fuel rail go? Here it is. So essentially what it'll look like is that'll be on top. So the fuel injectors, the leads for the fuel injectors, or where the clips go, whatever you want to call them, these are supposed to be facing up, but I rotated them down for all four. These I got to rotate to the side a little bit to allow the fuel rail to mount. But yeah, it should be good. Should work fine and should look a lot better. Everything's hooked up down there, nice and tight. I got the clips on the stupid injectors. It took forever and it was totally annoying. I could just install the fuel rail right now and be done with it, but instead we'll take it a step further. Here's a fuel rail and these two studs right here. This is where your that old plastic piece is supposed to fit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to back these things out of here just to give it a cleaner look, and then I'm going to spray paint the whole thing black. So this fuel rail is going to go in, and I wanted to remove these two posts here because they're ugly. And the easiest way to do it is you take two nuts, jam them up against each other. You can loosen it and pull it out. I've done this 100 times. There are many different parts in the car already. And it's the easiest way. You can do it with vice grips, but if you ever wanted to reinstall it, like for whatever reason, if something doesn't work when I reinstall everything, and I want to reinstall these posts, you can actually do it. If you use vice grips, you're going to gnarl it all up, and you won't be able to reinstall it. So there you go. So I just took this outside and spray painted it black. It's not the best taping job in the world, and I've been hitting it with a heat gun. So I'm trying to accelerate the drying, but I'm kind of on a time crunch, and this is taking a little longer than I thought it would. But right now it's too hot to even touch, so I'm going to let it cool down a little bit and throw it in the car, get everything back together, and finish up this video. So check it out. Fuel rail painted, installed. Everything's connected. And now I'm going to install the AEM fuel pressure regulator. So basically it's going to replace this OEM unit. I've already swapped over the little rubber gasket that goes right here. So get that thing installed real quick and hook it up. Alright, I just installed everything, turned on the key, and I found a leaky injector, which I messed with, disassembled everything, looked at it, reinstalled it, same problem. Reinstalled an old injector. Now we have no leak there. We do have a leak at our fuel pressure regulator. I thought it was this. So I replaced it with a worm gear, reinstalled everything. We still have a leak. As I was digging through this stuff here trying to find an Allen wrench, I came across a little bag that had a new O-ring, which definitely looks different than the one that I have installed, as well as some new hardware. So I was going to put the old fuel pressure regulator back on. It's getting late. I've been here like 5-6 hours. But I'm going to try installing this little O-ring here, see if that fixes our problem. And if not, the old one's going back on so I can get home. But anyway, that's where we are. This stuff never goes as planned. Keep that in mind, man. I've actually done all this before, and even having done it all before, here I am late at night, exhausted, still messing with it. So anyway, we'll get it fixed and we'll get the car back on the road. It's 6:30. I got here at 11. And today's goal was to install 3 things: fuel pressure gauge, new injectors, adjustable fuel pressure regulator. All 3 leaked, and the fuel pressure regulator is still leaking badly. Like, I thought I put the other O-ring in, I tightened everything up really good. I thought that maybe if it had a little leak I could at least get home. I installed it, I gave it a bunch of cranks. I didn't see any evidence of a leak. And then on the third fuel pump priming, I saw a tiny little bit come down the pipe. So I said, I could probably make it home, deal with this another time. So I just started the car up, and dude, it was dripping. Drip, 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 drip. I can't drive home like that. So everything has to come apart one more time. Put the OEM fuel pressure regulator on. This has not been a good day. I am exhausted. I'm starving. I'm thirsty. My nose is raw from wiping it so much. Anyway, this is the negative part of doing this kind of stuff. It's getting cold too. So anyway, take this all apart again. Put the fuel pressure regulator on the OEM one, and see if I can return the AEM one. But anyway, guys, that is the video for today. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Please check out the website, extremedailyDrivers.com. I'll see you next time.